I was scrolling through Twitter yesterday, guys. And as always, I'm just keeping my eye out for what's going on, seeing if I find anything interesting. And I came across this clip from DNVR Sports. I've kind of told you guys what it's about. I'm going to play it. You guys have not heard this. And I want your instant reaction to this clip from DNVR Sports. You ready?
Yep.
And let's take it.
That the Broncos are the Denver Saints.
I think it is. They were a very successful organization and team. I understand why Sean wants to recruit his guys over here and get some of the same players, same energy, the same winning culture. Now, if they were the Cleveland Browns for the last 10 years, I'd be like, keep them out of the building.
Yeah.
But they were very successful, so I think it's good to, bring them along.
Yeah, like it doesn't hurt. Like it's just what happens, It's not really a surprise. Like you bring in a head coach, he's gonna, when you got to fill a role, you fill it with somebody you know. Unless like you're Raheem Morris, for example, who wasn't all that successful in his first job, and so he probably won't bring a lot of people who were on his staff the first time with him. But again, like when it's Sean Payton, who is at the same place for like 15, 16 years.
Browns caught a straight shot.
Is that the ultimate Denver sports show?
That is DNVR.
That is their version.
I almost fell asleep during that.
Why you bring us that stuff?
I think it's just someone that was ill-informed. Now, for the most part, he's right. We've played 2 playoff games in the last 10 years. I think what he was talking about was, like in 2020, you could have said that, and it would have been absolutely in the middle of the bullseye. Mm-hmm. Because for the 2020 to 2010 era, there was no example in pro sports that was worse than this one.
Yeah.
But we're not in that space anymore. We have had only 2 playoff games since then. So,
My point, who the hell are the Denver Broncos right now to talk about?
Well, did they beat us?
Well, this year,
Yeah, they did.
So, I mean, there is that.
But, I mean, look at the last 5 years. Denver's been horrendous the last couple
I
years.
get it.
You know what?
But
I get it.
beat
But
you.
they've won a couple of Super Bowls, if you take it in totality.
Now, in fairness, the Browns have been one of the worst. If you look at the past decade, they are 29th in wins over the past decade.
That's a
The
fair.
only teams that are worse, the Jets, the Giants, and the Jaguars.
Wow, the Giants are worse.
Yes, they've been terrible.
They've
New
been
York
horrendous.
football
Yeah,
the
they've been
last
horrendous.
decade. Oh, my
Disaster.
God.
However, these guys are a bunch of slapdicks. Who the hell knows who they are? I don't know. Who are those guys? What are their names?
DNV and R. I don't know.
Well, they would watch us and say
They
the
were a
same
bunch
thing
of
in
slapdicks.
fairness. They would
No,
say
they
the same
wouldn't.
thing.
Jay, you were on ESPN. They
Well,
know you at least.
But they wouldn't know us. I mean, from
I know, but I got to take a shot at them. They're making fun of our team. You know what I'm
Long-distance
saying?
fist
There you
bump,
go.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
come
right
on.
on that.
I don't know them. They might be nice guys. But
the clip
bleep
had like
what they have
84
to
views.
say.
I think we just gave them more publicity than they got in their own.
That's
so.
true.
I mean, look, man.
But who the hell are you to take a shot at the Cleveland Browns like that? You coming off a season where you just lost. You have 70 points to the Miami Dolphins.
What did they finish? 8 and 9?
They not in the playoffs.
No, I didn't. I know that. I asked what they finished.
Worse than the Browns.
But they beat us head to head.
I only got one hand to talk and one hand to search and look this up, Jay.
Yeah,
I know,
I
but
think
I mean,
8 and 9.
but
Yeah.
here's-
like I said, look, they beat us.
Unless you win consistent,
They were 8 and 9.
It's all based on your reputation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
the Giants still maintain a little bit of this. We're a good franchise.
That's why I was so surprised when you
Right.
told me that they were below us.
Yes, I think they're 31st. I think only the Jaguars have less wins than the Giants.
Stunning.
Maybe the Jets too. But like there's a part of your brain, because when we grew up, like or maybe not early, but like in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s and the 2000s, the Giants were good. Now they've been a crappy franchise for a while now, since the end of last few years of Eli.
Where does
on.
Denver fit in that list over the last decade?
I'll tell you.
I'd be interested to know that, because Denver's history is not recent history. Their history was Peyton Manning won the last Super Bowl for them.
Was that
John
15?
Elway won 2 Super Bowls for them. Before that, when
went
they were
to
the
a
Orange
couple-
Crush, they went to a Super Bowl and didn't win.
They
I
won-
have it. I
But-
have it.
So I mean, they've got a nice track record
How many-
over their franchise.
How many times have been to the Super Bowl?
I
How
would
many
say
times they won?
6.
They're 18th, so they're near the middle
Of what?
in terms of wins.
Denver is.
What about Super Bowl? How many times have been to the Super Bowl?
I bet 7.
Oh, I don't know. The last 10 years?
I mean, they've
No,
won
ever.
They've won 3.
Well,
I
they
know
won-
they lost 2 with Elway.
Right, they won
and they
2 with
lost
Elway,
with Craig
lost
Morton
2
when they were the Orange Crush.
Right.
Didn't Peyton go 1-1 in the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Peyton was
Denver?
1-1.
Peyton
They
did
lost
go
to the
1-1 in
Seahawks.
the Super Bowl.
So I think they're probably 3-4 in the Super Bowl.
Losers.
Yeah.
So that
That's like
We
saying
got 8
the Bills-
championships.
And
It's like
even-
saying the Bills are losers. They're 0-4, but
Yeah.
they've been there and we haven't.
And let's be clear.
Losers.
Here's the most.
What does that make us, though?
Watch this.
We just haven't had a chance. We're winners until
the
proven otherwise.
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
The Cleveland
Innocent
Browns.
until proven guilty.
That's
No.
horrible.
Winners till proven
That's horrible
losers.
But
logic,
here's the
Mike.
thing:
The
Browns fans make fun of other fan bases, even though the Browns have probably been the worst franchise in the last 30 years.
The Browns are the
in
only,
the NFL.
only franchise.
Can
the
you
Browns
look that
have.
up? Because I don't even think it's a probably.
The only.
I think it's a slam
look it up.
dunk.
The only franchise that has never been to a Super Bowl or never even hosted a Super Bowl is Cleveland.
That's
Detroit.
true.
No, and Detroit.
No, Detroit's hosted.
Oh well, that
I know, it doesn't count.
But you've never been involved
So
with
at least
anything.
Detroit-
Yeah, but that's not any kudos to the
No,
team.
but the
Host-
city
hosting-
can say
hosting
we
the
have a
Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl
is
history. We
huge.
hosted
I
it
hear
once.
you, but that's about the city, not about the team.
That's
I mean,
true. But what
it's
he
all
said is
wrapped in
also
one.
factual. What he
Like,
said is factual.
We have never been a part of nothing.
Jacksonville has hosted a Super Bowl.
So when you say
Houston.
Houston has hosted multiple Super
So
Bowls.
if you're gonna take shots at the city of Cleveland, you could just be like, listen, not only your team is trash, your city is trash
So
too.
we are the only one of the 32 that has never played in
Nothing.
or hosted a Super Bowl.
Can't even
If
sniff.
if you Google search Super Bowl Cleveland,
Doesn't exist.
I mean stuff will come up because they'll say Cleveland didn't make it to the Super Bowl again.
All right.
But
I looked up best winning percent. This popped up best winning percent. I did winning percentage because the Browns were out of the league for 3 years.
That's fair.
So you
Yeah.
don't want to just do wins, and some
Right.
of these teams haven't been around for 30
no,
years.
that's fair.
Since 1990, where are the Browns in winning percentage? What do you think?
I would say they're
430.
probably 31 or 32.
4.432 winning percentage.
Oh no, but where are they ranked? I'm saying
Oh, probably 30th.
they are dead last.
That's what I would guess. What is their winning percentage? And if .432 is high.
Yeah.
35.7.
So that means over the last 32 years, the Browns have won one game for every 3 they lost.
Yeah,
Or 2.
basically. A little less than
35%
that.
would be
Yeah.
1. You would be 1 and 2, right?
To put that in perspective, the second worst team. You want to guess who that is? You might.
Win percentage?
Second worst.
It's actually a tie. There's a tie for 30.
Is it an expansion team?
No.
So it's a team that's
The
better than
Lions?
Detroit.
The Lions
Yeah.
and Arizona are actually tied. They have the exact same record since 1990.
Now,
which
what
great.
what is their winning percentage?
It's almost 41. It's almost 5 percentage points better.
So we're, oh, God.
I don't
That's
care about
crazy.
numbers. This is the one time I don't care about stats.
Yeah.
Screw these guys in DNVR.
No, absolutely. Absolutely screw those guys.
Well, I'm with that too, but I mean,
But-
I get that why they would say that.
And
I
it
mean,
wasn't like they went on and on about
no,
it. They
he
made
just
one
mentioned
comment.
Cleveland.
This
As-
is
It takes the Browns have been so bad for so long. Like when fans were how many fans did we have making fun of the Steelers and Bengals early in the season? If you look at Twitter, like
lots.
that's embarrassing. You can't be doing that.
Right.
When
Browns
you're
fans don't
just
do that,
coming.
Bull.
Like what's
No,
that?
Browns fans don't do that.
oh, they was victory lapping.
look at my.
Every fan base does that.
Now,
Every second tweet from Nick Carnes is about how awful every other team is. Nick, I love you, buddy.
We love Nick.
But in
you're
all
the same
fairness,
person.
you also prematurely buried Pittsburgh last year and
does
this
it-
year.
he does it every year.
I did
Because
but
because we so badly need them to suck.
But yeah, I mean, I know how good a franchise they've been. I don't know. I'm not going to do it again next year. But in the end, yeah, the Browns have been a brand franchise, but screw Denver, and they have a lot. Their baseball team sucks. How about that? The Rockies are trash.
Hey, look.
Well, they did win an NBA championship.
We'll put a bow in it. Hey, listen, man, you're only good as your last game, good as your last year. Browns was way better than y'all. We went to the playoffs. You guys didn't. You need to figure out if you got a quarterback. You should be worried about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they don't even have a
Sean
quarterback.
Payton. You got to figure that out.
Who's going to be their quarterback next year? They're going to have to draft
Joe
somebody.
That's a good question.
Yep.